Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, bringing you guys another video. In this video today, we are back again to talk more about Sonic Frontiers, a game that I am obviously very excited for, but we're not really here to talk about news or an update on some new footage that we got. We're just simply here to talk about Sonic Frontiers, the game itself, and why it has the potential to be the greatest Sonic game of all time. Now, I know whenever I say a hyperbolic statement like, oh, this could be the greatest thing of all time, this could be the worst thing of all time, the eyebrows are going to raise. There have been a lot of great Sonic games, there have been a lot of bad Sonic games, but no Sonic game has tried to do what Sonic Frontiers is doing. After what seemed like months of skepticism and people just kind of hoping on the game's downfall, it seems like it has completely turned itself around, winning over a lot of those skeptics, a lot of the people who are simply just coming at the game to be negative. It's kind of impressive what Sonic Frontiers has done with its turnaround in marketing from its completely awful start to where it is now. But we don't just have to take it from Sega, from its marketing, from just what it's showing us, because it's showing us like some of the best aspects of the game. It's not showing us maybe some of the potential cracks in the armor. There have been a lot of conventions, there have been a lot of game showcases where Sonic Frontiers has been present and a lot of people have been able to play it, and not only that, they are also saying that this thing is great. It's not just good. I think these first impressions are very important and I do want to take a look at them, and that's exactly what we're here to do. Today, we're going to be taking a look at all of the Sonic Frontiers first impressions from a bunch of very reputable websites, a bunch of these articles that dive into it in somewhat good detail. We're not going to be going through the entire articles because we have a lot to go through. But not just that, some people on Twitter, some respected people in the Sonic community, we're going to take a look at what they have to say. And maybe by the end of this we'll see where Sonic Frontiers stands and where our expectation level should be going into this game. But before we get into that, I'd like to introduce today's sponsor, me. It has always been my dream to do something like this, but in relation to other things that I'm passionate and love and care about, and that's why I started this channel called Ricardi. Over there I'll be talking about all things pop culture, from Marvel to Star Wars to other superhero action movies, stuff that I care about. Obviously, I don't believe that this channel is a place to talk about things that are not Sonic. The channel is called SpeedSuperSonic. So if you are interested in any of those things, such as Marvel, Star Wars, anything like that, I'm going to be trying to post as frequent as possible, maybe potentially daily, because there's so much to talk about over there. I would very much so appreciate if you guys go over there, subscribe, check out, join the family, watch the videos over there. But remember, as always, this is still the focus, this is still my main home. I just like keeping busy and talking about all the stuff that I love and care about. So yeah, thank you all so much. Go subscribe over there. Let me know if you did in the comment section down below. Thank you guys. The sponsor segment over. Alright, so this first impression article, remember, we're not going to be going through it all, is from The Independent. The Independent is a pretty big establishment. Sonic Frontiers hands-on preview, forward momentum with occasional stumbles. The Independent had the opportunity to gain a hands-on demo of Sonic Frontiers at EGX London prior to the game's 8 November release date. Based on our initial impressions, Sonic Frontiers could be the game Sonic fans have been waiting years for. They go on to talk about pretty much all the stuff we already know about Sonic Frontiers, so I won't bore you with that. We're really just here to look at what they think overall, and towards the end of the article they say, while Sonic Frontiers still looks very much to be something of a work in progress, there's some great potential demonstrated in some of its early systems and world design that appear to address the biggest gripes about the 3D games in this series. While we've only seen a small section of Frontiers' seemingly larger open zone gameplay, it may finally be the game Sonic the Hedgehog fans have been waiting decades for. It certainly exceeds expectations, even if those weren't soaring to begin with. Obviously referring to the skepticism that people had when the initial gameplay was first shown off, but even though the headline of the article talks about occasional stumbles, and I'm sure that the game will have flaws, everything there is very glowing, is very positive, and when they say decades, they're dead on. We've had great Sonic games in the past 2 decades. Unfortunately, the adventure games are no longer in that 2-decade mark anymore, which is kind of crazy to say, but Generations was good, Unleashed, Sonic 06. Alright, next one. Movie Games and Tech has an article up as well talking about their experience at EGX, where they say, if you love Sonic, I just can't see you being disappointed by this game at all. If you're in the market for a fast-paced, part open world, part traditional 3D platformer, this could be the game for you. One thing is certain, I can't wait to get my hands on the final game. Also, have I mentioned it's beautiful? That is also a very glowing start. Once again, remember, a lot of this is from EGX and people who've played the game briefly, so this is not by any means going to be an overall view of the entire game. You're not going to get like spoilers or anything from it, but that's good. That's very good. Another person who is at EGX is actually a very big Sonic fan. His name is Badnik Mechanic. He has a YouTube channel. Some of you guys might know who he is. He put out a tweet about his experience playing Sonic Frontiers, and he says, Sonic Frontiers in a nutshell, open zone, really good. Cyberspace, quite naff. That must be like a British thing, am I right? What does naff mean? Lacking in style or good taste. So just like not that great. Okay. There are a few issues which may cause problems long term. One is quite a big problem. Okay, so kind of cryptic in what's not great about the cyberspace levels, and I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't like the cyberspace levels were gonna be the best part of the game. The game is clearly relying and leaning on the open zone, the open world of it. It's definitely the priority, it's the meat of the game. So, well, I'm sure cyberspace will have a presence and a large presence in the game. It's good to know that the main meat is the best part, and like the sides of your meal is just like, it's alright. This other Twitter user says, I managed to play Sonic Frontiers about 5 times during EGX. I stuck in before 10 AM and oh my god, it's incredible. I didn't do much aside from the 2 cyberspace levels and exploring the open world, but I am so impressed. Sonic feels so good. I think they might have smashed it. Someone else said, played Sonic Frontiers at EGX, and as expected, I thought it was great. I can go on and on about these. This other Twitter user says, played Sonic Frontiers at EGX. I can confirm that game is good. I'm like really scrolling through Twitter now about all these people who went to EGX and played Sonic Frontiers. I don't think I see a single negative opinion on it, like a single negative thing. The most negative thing I read was from Bad Mechanic, who said that the cyberspace levels were kind of eh. And we can literally go on forever and ever. I'm sure there were hundreds of people who have tweets about Sonic Frontiers and how good it was and how not good it was, or actually no, just simply how good it was. And I think this is what opens up a conversation around here and where we need to kind of get to. The conversation does need to start up about everything that we've been hearing about the game, everything we've been seeing about the game, the massive turnaround that the game has had that we mentioned earlier in the video. Does Sonic Frontiers, based on everything we're hearing, have the potential to be the best? When we're speaking about something as objective as a term of like best, because everybody's gonna have a different opinion. Like I guarantee most Sonic fans, this probably won't be their favorite Sonic game of all time because they have such an attachment and we have such an attachment to the games that we have loved our entire life, basically. But it's not like there's a lot of competition in the past 10 years. I don't think there's any competition in the past 10 years, unless you really like Sonic Mania. There are a lot of great Sonic games. There are a lot of amazing Sonic games, and in fact, I would say that there are more good ones than not, which a lot of people disagree with. But Sonic Frontiers doesn't have as high as a hill to climb as many think. If they get the story right, which with the help of Ian Flynn and his amazing storytelling that he is proven to be capable of when it comes to the IDW comics, when it comes to the Archie comics that he worked on. He knows these characters in and out, he knows what's best for them, he knows how to write them, he knows what their characters should be. Everything that we've seen and heard from leaked cutscenes, from the parts of the story that have been put out there, he seems to have a true vision and idea of what it should be, and I'm so excited for it. I'm not here to say that this will be the best Sonic story of all time, but damn it, does it have the potential to be. With the gameplay of Sonic growing stale over the past 10 years, this change up into a more open zone style, more combat focused, being able to explore a vast open world as this character, it's taking Sonic into that next generation the similar way that Sonic Adventure 1 did all the way back in 1999. This is the next big step. This is a ambitious, big foot forward. While I love Unleashed, Colors, Generations, that was a safe step forward that everybody was kind of okay with and they liked, but we knew that it wasn't built for longevity. This, however, seems like it is, combining that with an overall much grander scope. Everything that we're hearing about the open world, from when IGN played it, other gaming outlets who played it, all the people at EGX, all of the publishers and articles that are coming out are saying that that open world is really good, and that is amazing to hear. Well, yes, this obviously borrows a lot from stuff like Zelda, from stuff like other games that Nintendo or open world games have done. It has been said, and you can see that it has its own unique flair, and it has its own idea of what that open zone should be. The music to this game is pretty great, and a lot of Sonic fans are really vibing with it. I love the orchestral soundtrack. This might be a hot take, and you guys can grill me in the comments section for saying this. I know it's about to come. I'm not a big fan of the vocal tracks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not my type of music. I'm sorry, it's just so 2000s and I can't stand the opening theme, I'm sorry. Vandalize is okay, it's like a bad Bring Me the Horizon song. I definitely just lost a bunch of subscribers, oh my god. But this game is doing so much right, and we're hearing so much positive feedback, because when a Sonic game has been mediocre or you usually hear about it when the game is previewed, when the game is demoed. That is not the case for this, and this is the most transparent a Sonic game showcase demo has been. When Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric was being demoed, everybody was like, yeah, this is bad. I remember watching the Pro Jared, I know it's a meme now, like first impression when I was a kid. It literally ruined my entire day. I was like so sad. I was like, oh no, not again, Sonic. Forces had a very mediocre response out the gate, which that game deserves because it is literally the pinnacle of mediocre. But those gave you like select peaks at the game. It didn't let you play the full thing. It didn't just like, we're just gonna give you the game, you play it what you want. Frontiers did that. They literally just gave you Sonic Frontiers and they're like, okay, you have a time limit, just play up to this, you end here, okay, you start from there. And everyone's like, yeah, this is a great time. I really love this and I want to continue playing it. I'm so excited for it. That's amazing to hear. I'm so excited. Look, I know a lot of people, before they even click on this video, are gonna be saying, oh, there goes SpeedSuperSonic setting himself up for disappointment. I don't know if I am this time, guys. I know Sonic Team has let us down a lot. I know Sega's let us down a lot when it comes to these main series Sonic titles. But like this time, it really looks like Sonic has changed. Like it's very, very different. It's completely okay to still have your reservations. It's completely okay to not think along the lines of where I'm thinking. I'm just way too much of an optimist in this life, probably more than I should be at this point. Sonic Frontiers, I think everything we've seen looks amazing, and I cannot wait for it. I love everything that we're hearing out of EGX. There are a lot of people who've played it and made videos. I'll pop a couple up on screen right now by other Sonic the Hedgehog content creators who were able to play the game at EGX. Go check out their videos on the game so you can hear people who played the game's thoughts on it. I'm just relaying some of this info to you and why this makes me think that Sonic Frontiers very well could be the best Sonic game. And I really hope that on November 8th or whenever I'll be able to put my review out, because God knows it's going to be long and in-depth, that I'll be able to come back to you and say, Sonic Frontiers is the best Sonic game. But what do you think? What do you think of everything that we're hearing about Sonic Frontiers out of all of these gaming conventions and from all of these people who have got their hands on the game? Are you excited or are you a little skeptical? Let me know if you're still holding on to those reservations or if you're fully on the Sonic Frontiers hype train. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links to my Twitter and Instagram are in the description below. You can follow this, find things like my life feature today and don't think Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is the #1 destination on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comic books, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. Not only is this game like under 2 months away, but we've also got Sonic Prime coming later in the year as well, and so much other amazing Sonic content to make, to talk about. I'm so excited to be a Sonic fan, and I hope that you join me on this journey by subscribing to this channel. And not just that, but my other channel will be talking about all things Marvel, Star Wars, etc. I love all you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.